I came back from work to see a sold sign on my house. You don't need a luxury home at your age, my stepfather smirked, packing for his VIP European tour. I let him board his flight, but when he returned, he had no place to go. I'm not even sure where to start, but since this is Reddit, I'll keep it simple. I came back from a business trip today to find a sold sign on my front lawn. My stepfather smirked and told me I don't need a luxury home at my age. He was packing for his VIP European tour, but I let him board his flight. When he returned, he had nowhere to go. Before I explain how that happened, let me introduce myself. My name is Ethan. I'm 28 years old and I work as a structural engineer. My job pays well, but it's exhausting. I spend more time on site than at home, traveling between projects. The one thing that kept me sane was my house, my own place, or so I thought. Because as of today, my house no longer belongs to me. You don't need a house like this, kid. I knew something was off the second I turned onto my street. I'd just gotten back from a 3-week business trip out of state. I was exhausted, running on 3 hours of airplane sleep, and just wanted to take a shower and crash on my couch. But as I pulled up to my house, I saw something that made my stomach drop, a bright red and white sold sign stuck into my front lawn. I slammed on the brakes so hard my tires screeched. My brain refused to process what I was seeing. No, that had to be a mistake. I pulled into the driveway and practically ran to the front door, my work bag still slung over my shoulder. But before I could get inside, I heard his voice, Richard, my stepfather. He was inside my house, packing up my things. I stormed through the front door, hard, hammering. What is going on, Richard? Barely looking up from sealing a box with packing tape, he said, "Oh, hey, kiddo. You're back earlier than I thought." Kiddo. He always called me that, like I was still some clueless teenager and not a grown man who had worked for everything he had. I dropped my bag onto the floor. "Why is there a sold sign on my lawn, Richard?" He let out a dramatic sigh, like I was the one inconveniencing him. "We sold it." My stomach twisted. I took a step closer. "What do you mean we?" Richard sat down the tape and looked at me like I was being slow. "Your mother and I obviously. You don't need a big house like this, Ethan. It's ridiculous for someone your age. You should be renting a small apartment, saving money." He waved a hand. "You'll thank me later." I felt my fingers curl into fists. "Richard, this is my house. I bought it with my money." "You had no right," he laughed, clapped me on the shoulder like I was a child. "Kid, you think you did this alone? You think you're some self-made success story?" He shook his head. "It's all family money, shared assets. You don't actually own anything." I recoiled like he'd slapped me. "Family money, shared assets?" No, that was a lie. How they stole my house. Here's where things get technical. Yes, I paid for the house. Yes, I made every mortgage payment. But the house was originally bought when I was 23, too young to get a good loan on my own. My credit was solid, but the bank still required a cosigner, and my mother volunteered my stepfather. "It's just paperwork, Ethan," she had said at the time, waving away my concerns. "It'll still be your house." So I signed the documents, believing my name was on the deed. And it was, at first. What I didn't know was that Richard had refinanced the mortgage behind my back while I was away. My name was quietly removed from the deed months ago. The house was now solely in his name, and legally, he had every right